Hey everybody, it's Muscle Car Campy, and we've got a really special car for you today. I know we use that term a lot, but this is Carroll Shelby's personal 1969 GT500. He owned it for 39 years. Check it out.
Hey Jim, my name is Ryan Snyder, and this is Carroll Shelby's 1969 Shelby GT500, known as Old Shell.
Imagine, it's the summer of '69. You walk into your local Ford dealership and you're looking for a big block Mustang. One part of the showroom floor, there's a Mach 1 or maybe a GT even, with a 428 Cobra Jet or Super Cobra Jet. Awesome looks, lots of power. Just a year before, the 428 Cobra Jet set the street and strip on fire. Then, look at here, what do we have here? Oh wait, it's a '69 Boss 429, 375 horsepower, and perhaps the toughest looking Mustang ever. Hemi cylinder heads, unreal, right? The price tag is over $5,000. Then you have, in another corner, sitting all by itself, a 1969 Shelby GT500, 428 Cobra Jet. Would you pick this one up? Now remember, it's a Shelby, and it's the most radical looking Shelby ever. It's the least Mustang looking Mustang since Shelby started touching on Mustangs in 1965. It's got a fiberglass hood with 3 inlets and 2 outlets. It's got a grille that looks like no Mustang that's ever come before it. In fact, it's kind of a sneak peek at the '71 grille. Again, this is a car that's completely unusual. Would you have bought one? Well, we know one guy who got one. His name was Carroll Shelby. He got a '69 GT500. In fact, he got this '69 GT500, and he owned it for 39 years. We're going to tell you the whole story behind this car in 1 minute. But before we do, don't forget, hit that subscribe button and make sure you're notified every time a new muscle car drops on Muscle Car Campy. You know, if you can overlook for a minute that this was Carroll Shelby's personal GT500, it's still a really unusual car. Only 335 GT500s were built in 1969, so it's a pretty rare duck just by itself. You know, the market for convertibles was drying up. The market for Shelbys, in theory, people think it was drying up. It actually wasn't. '69 was a very good year for the Shelby GT models. But still, it's so different than any other Mustang that came before it. The changes to the body were numerous. The front end, of course, was completely different. It had a unique grille and scoops in the front fenders. Not sure exactly what they were scooping, but they were functional. The convertible got functional rear brake scoops that were lower on the rear fenders than those on the coupes, their position being dictated by the convertible top mechanism. Shelby used Thunderbird taillights out back in a unique rear fascia with a built-in rear spoiler and a fiberglass deck lid. The license plate folded down to reveal the gas cap, and the dual exhaust exited in the center of the car. A truly neat feature. It was no easy feat building a Shelby in 1969, and the convertibles made it even more difficult. Forget about all the unique body parts for a second. The coupes were based on the Mach 1, so the Shelbys got their standard deluxe interiors and upgraded suspensions, no problem. But the convertibles had to be specially built with the optional deluxe interior and upgraded suspension belts added. On the interior, the Shelbys used a Cougar console and shifter for the automatic. The roll bars were no longer MIG welded. Shelby himself added an electric fuel pump and toggle switch out of a Daytona coupe when one day he ran out of fuel on his ranch. And you may be saying to yourself, or you may say, Muscle Car Campy, those are the wrong wheels for a '69 GT500. And you know what? You'd be correct. But as we said, this was Carroll Shelby's personal car. He did not like the 5-spoke design that was used on the 69 GT500s, so he changed out to an earlier wheel, these from the 68s. All right, we're here with the man himself. No, not Carroll Shelby. It's a little too late for that, but we're here with Ryan Snyder, the owner of Old Shell. What a gorgeous car, Ryan. Tell us the story now. We know this car was originally triple white, but Shelby decided to paint it candy apple red, didn't he?
Yes, he did. So he wanted a red convertible. This was towards the tail end of production in '69. None were available, so this was pulled from the Shelby pull. It was a triple white car. So he sent it back through Shelby, had it painted the candy apple red that you see here today, Jim.
And you've had it for about 4 years now, correct?
That's correct. I bought it at auction at Monterey a number of years back, and funny story with that, you know, Shelby owned a lot of cars, a lot of Shelby cars over the course of his lifetime. So in any given year, you'll see 5 or 10 cars at auction that are being promoted as Carroll Shelby owned. It doesn't really carry a whole lot of weight in the collector car world, but this particular auction house had listed this one as a Shelby-owned Shelby and really didn't say anything else about the history of the car. And, you know, this one here he had owned for 39 years, and this one had a real rich history during his ownership.
And that does make it special. It wasn't like he bought it, drove it for a year, and flipped it. He did a lot of modifications to this car. He rebuilt the engine himself. You told me about that.
Yes, he did. He had rebuilt this engine, I believe it was in the late 70s, early 80s. One of the things that will jump out to you, Jim, you'll notice that when he rebuilt the engine, he changed the engine block color from blue to red. Some other little things that he did in here, you'll notice Cobra Le Mans valve covers, the chrome air cleaner. Also, if you look up at the hood, you'll notice that the hood pins have been disabled. He had that done in the early 80s because he had bad arthritis and it was hard on his hands. And basically they just epoxied the hood pins down, and they've got this wire mesh over top of them.
Interesting. I know he painted the whole long block red. Even the cylinder heads are red.
Yes, sir.
Man. And it does have is that an aluminum intake manifold?
Yes, sir.
So I like the Cobra Le Mans valve covers. That really adds something. I can't say I'm in love with the chrome air cleaner, but hey, who am I to argue with Carroll Shelby?
One other thing, I don't know if you can really catch it on your camera, but you'll notice way deep down, if you come around over here by the battery, he also installed a Cobra big block aluminum oil pan down there as well.
So Ryan, do you ever like just mix up a bowl of Carroll Shelby Texas chili, then get in the car, put your cowboy hat on and cruise around the area with it?
I cruise around the block in it. I haven't had a cowboy hat or the chili yet, but I could go for some Texas chili.
Well, if you keep I'll tell you what, if you keep inviting me back, I have a box of Carroll Shelby Texas chili mix in my pantry. I'll make it up. I'll bring it down. We can have some fun in this car, you know, and then have a little feast afterwards.
Absolutely.
Brian, thanks so much. We really appreciate you sharing another one of your great muscle cars with the Muscle Car Campy audience.
Anytime, Jim. Appreciate you.
Muscle Car Campy saying see you later. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Ryan Snyder, for sharing another one of your great collector cars with us. Say goodbye to Old Shell, and don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you're notified every time we drop a new video.